a referendum, you still need the People's National Party to sign off on it.
Well, not to sign off on it, but you don't want there to be opposing views in a referendum because it becomes partisan.
Yes, because the prime minister would come to the people of Jamaica. It just frustrated neighbor. It do because you can't have the opposition stand up like a roadblock for everything what the prime minister want to do.
Yeah,
It's like
and that is precisely what seems to be happening now. But um, want to thank you for today, sir.
all right, man. Take it easy. I'll see you later. I'll catch you later.
Catch you later. All right, great. Alex,
Hey neighbor,
I haven't spoken to you for a long time. What's happening?
I'm on the move sometime neighbor, so when I'm waiting, maybe I'm waiting on my turn, but I get busy enough to jump off. Just
Yeah,
leaving the
sometimes
gym.
it takes a little time to come up.
Yeah man, that's fine man. But neighbor, since September 3rd, I don't know if anybody analyzes certain stuff and reading the messaging correctly. But what I think about the election just now is that the PMP had done their best just now. They had run their best campaign and they
They
pulled
run their
out.
best campaign.
Yes, sir. I
Huh.
want to think that best campaign meaning they pulled out everyone from the PMP camp. The tribalist PMP from back then and the new PMP personnel. They managed to pull. That was the best effort, and we still had some close seats.
Yes.
So that position, if you're analyzing it incorrectly, is they would think that okay, we did this well, so next election we can win. But you just pull out the entirety or the larger amount of your base. So this, I think this strategy based on my analysis is you'd have to change, seeing that you have that base already. What can you do now to pull others? The others pull some from the JLP, some undecided people and all of that. You have to change that rhetoric now. You have to change that message. If you're going to stay on the walking out of parliament and showing all of this fight against the current government, this will work well with your tribalistic person. It doesn't matter what you do, it's going to work with them. You already have them already. You did your best pull a while ago and you still lost by a few seats. That's what, about 7 seats? And that was your best pull. I think that almost anyone from the People's National Party just now who had maybe be the leader of the People's National Party would have pulled similar, because the 2020 election was an anomaly, so that the right pull of the people was not shown in that election. The right pull was just shown. I won't put it fully on Mark Golden to say he definitely is the one that did that pull. I think almost anyone from the People's National Party would have made similar pull, because they're just going to pull the base just the same, because we're not in 2020 anymore. So right now, if I'm analyzing it from a PMP activist, it is a scary situation to last and have several seats very close. That's not a good look.
You are saying that the
These are
PNP
signs.
position is tenuous based on the results of the last election.
Yes, sir. I think they may be looking at it from a different angle in which, oh, we got X amount of seat and we were at this amount of seat. Come on.
Huh.
Who did believe, say, the Jamaica Labour Party with a high number of seats is going to win more seats. I wasn't with the crowd when they were, oh, the JLP is going to win 50 odd seats. I heard that a lot of time on your program, neighbor, leading up to the election. I
Not
was
from me.
not a believer. I
Not
was
from
not
me.
a, I
Hello,
was not,
not
a
from
belie-
me.
not you. But I knew that the Jamaica Labour Party going to lose some seats, but still won the election. And my analysis, when you'd asked me, I had said I'd give you a between number. I don't know if you remember. I had it at 36 to 40 something. And the reason why I have it in between is because of I was indoctrinated to be honest, when I hear maybe a Mr. Barry and some other person coming up saying landslide, landslide. So it changed my brain thought process. So it's like, oh, I can't sit at my 30 number anymore. Let me use an in-between number now and change my analysis. So I was indoctrinated with some of the talking points and the program. Also,
Wow. Hold on. You're saying, sir, that the program influenced the way you thought.
my analysis of the winning numbers.
This program did it.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Because yeah man, you have to look. I like come out of the box and look at everything in us. Just the same like a recent incident where another platforms out there, yes, the PM is going to lose his seat and this, that. And you know, I will sit in your comment. I'm not right, but I will sit and watch you being wrong. I don't have no problem doing that. I'll sit and just watch you being wrong. And at one point I went in the box and I said, why do you think that Mr. Buchanan, look at the seat count. You know, I'm trying to be logical. And they're saying, well, wait, him have proper evidence, Mr. Buchanan, I got this and that. And I was being very logical, not being, diated to anything. I said, you really believe? And they said, what is my analysis? I said, as it reached the court, they're going to throw it out. Everybody got upset.
You know,
And
sir, you have said something here that has woke me up a bit, you know. I don't see myself as an influencer.
Which part of the argument? You're talking about
You're
the
saying
seat
that
count?
by you listening to this program, you change your prediction.
No, it's not necessarily you, neighbor. It's not you. You have persons who are on the platform, persons who are at a certain level of intellect that would state that they're foreseeing landslide. I'm hearing high seat numbers many times, 53, 55, this, that. And hearing that so much time, I'm like, hold on. I'm here alone, sit down at this little chair, I think, say, I'm here alone have this low number, 30 odd. You know? I'm here alone, I see this. So hearing those numbers, I changed my projection and I opened it. And I just say, you know what? 36 to 42. But I was more on a 36, 37. Yeah. So it wasn't necessarily you. You didn't have any influence on my projection. But neighbor, right now, it's sad in the country with the dividedness in the country with the two political party and the followers of the party.
Coming from you on the Patriots comments about intellectual anemia. How you see that?
You know, neighbor, I just know since I've been there, since I'm on the program, and you just mentioned it, you know. So I don't follow the politics that much, you know, neighbor. I just analyze certain aspect of it. So it's just now since you mentioned this, I just heard of it.
Yes.
Who said what again? Give me the information so I can address it.
Let me play it for you. Sir. Hold on there. Listen to it.
It's Michael for Nationwide.
Coming from Nationwide.
In a statement on Monday, the Patriots say Golding's October 3 letter welcomed the Prime Minister's stated willingness to work together on constitutional reform. They say the letter also stressed that true progress requires a direct dialogue between both leaders. G2K previously stated that Golding's stance is an indicator of his willingness to act as an impediment to Jamaica, removing the United Kingdom's monarch as head of state. But PNP Patriots President Reverend Dr. Paul Blake says G2K's criticism reeks of insecurity. This, he says, comes from realizing that Golding's intellect and composure expose the intellectual anemia of the JLP's own leadership bench. Dr. Blake says the Patriots will not entertain lectures from those who mistake loudness for leadership and partisanship for patriotism. The Patriots urged the JLP and its affiliates to reconsider their stance and embrace Golding's proposal for leader-level talks.
Right? You heard that, sir?
Yes, sir, but this just added more fuel to the division talk that I'm talking about.
Yes.
The country is so divided, neighbor. It's so divided. And
Absolutely.
we're not saying, and then these bag of lies when you go to maybe a platform where a certain, you go to a platform, you're trying to your very best to state that you're for the country. And I am right there in the comment saying you're too lie. You're for your party, but you're putting on this face to make it look like you're for the country. You're just choosing your team.
How does the Patriot statement brings any clarity? How does it help the process?
It's still division. People are throw tantrum at each other. I don't. It's just division. That's what I'm seeing when somebody come up with a statement like that. Political anemia. You're throwing tantrum at the other party. It's like I lost and I'm crying, and I see they're doing a lot of stuff, neighbor, and the comrade side where they're farming their own. It's like they're farming their own government as well and doing what they feel to do. It's like a rebellion, and then the supporters are like
you are envisioning that the PNP seem to be forming their own government, that they're not.
It's a rebellious move, neighbor. Yes, it's a rebellious move to not shadow what the government party has. It's showing a form of rebellion, and then this will work for your tribalistic people. Yes, man, how you mean? We now follow them, make we do for we thing, and yes, me proud that it doesn't matter what.
So the shadow duppy. Oh, hold on, not duppy. It's not cabinet. Shadow, what do you call it? Is a shadow cabinet?
Yeah, man. Shadow.
Yeah. So the shadow cabinet, you think is a strategic move to say we're not going to be subjecting ourselves to you. We'll do our own thing.
Right, neighbor. However, this will work for your tribalistic group. This will not garner your new people for 2030 election. That's what I'm saying. So you did a great pull just now. You managed to pull everybody or most of your people. 2020 could not have done that. 2020 could have never done that.
Say that again?
It is 2020 could have never done that. The 2020 election could have never pulled the full force of the People's National Party. What you have done, you just pulled them out and you're still lost. So there's a lot of work, and then you have so much close seats. So it's not a battle where maybe we have got next election we might win more. We have to think about strategy now. You have to think about new leaders. You have to think about. I think they're going about it the wrong way. But after there are many more years left for the election. I don't know what can happen. But the greatest thing to win the election, from my analysis, is the government has to be doing a bad job. I don't think what the opposition is doing for them to win the election. I think it's up to Onless administration to do a bad job for the PNP to win the election. That's the first thing that needs to happen. And if the ball is not in your hand, it's in Holness' hand to do a bad job for the other party to win. That is how the cards are dealt right now. That is what I see right now. All of this dividedness, it's just working for your tribalistic people. The next election can be, right now, if I'm going to guess, This is not factual. The next election can be something like a 26 on the PMP and a 37 for the JLP. That's all I'm seeing right now if I'm foreseeing the
No,
next election.
not much of a change.
No, not much of a change because we're still going to have the tribalistic behavior. So they're still going to have a high kind of count with a 20 number, but it might not be the 28. It might not be the 28. They might lose 2 more seats, and the JLP might gain even 2 more seats on their
They
side.
lose 1 or 2 here.
Right, but it still would
this,
be a
this
win.
position right now is basically how you see the country in another 10 or so years.
Yeah, I'm speaking from now up to 2030. 10 years, a lot of things can play. We have a lot of variables. Anything can happen. The owners can make a bad, decisive move that even some of the JLP, people like me will say, no, sir. Because I'm not tribalistic in nature. I just work with my analysis and then I will vote. So if there are very bad decisions being made and we're going backwards, then that's one part of the formula. The other part of the formula, the other side has to have a proper party, a proper leader for the party, not the same face. I can say it over and over. If you keep recycling the same face like a Peter Bunting, a Dayton Campbell, a Mark Golan, these are not grasping areas for somebody like me who make a decision.
Sorry,
I said it before.
sorry.
If
you are saying precisely that the PNP, for them to emerge as being more attractive for the next election, we need to change the leader.
This is my opinion. I don't want nobody's told me. My opinion is, if once again it was said before, Alisa Anna, she has a larger following on
Well,
social
let's
media.
not talk about her. She's not even in the party right now.
No, man. Yeah, just hypothetically.
Uh-huh.
But right now, the next option would have been a Damien Crawford, but
Oh, Lord.
but it's not so. It's not so right now. He's not in that place right now. I do not know who to choose from that side, to be honest. But some refactoring needs to go on internally. Someone new, but that new person might not be popular, so they need to gravitate some interest to their face and their name within the next 5 years. And on top of that, Holness has to do a bad job. So we need certain things to fall in place for the Jamaica Labour Party to lose the election. Not walking out of Parliament, not throwing tantrum, not these things are not pleasing.
Yeah.
No, those are not going to cut it to win the next election. You have to move in some way. Oh, we respect that the economy is growing and we like that. But this is what we can do to make improvements to the economy. Yes, they did this and the minimum wage is at this level. But however, we can do this to the minimum wage, and also we can do this as well. And also I can prove, or we can use this great economy in the structure that it's in to do different things and make different things happen, and not make up like we're going to pull money from out of the ear. You understand? Because people trust the Andrew Holness administration, because I don't know if they remember stuff like the minimum wage when it was in 2016. They're the architects. They've proven it that they can move it from X amount to X amount. These are factual data. They just proved it. So it is more factual when they say it again. So how are you going to tell me that they can't do it this time around when they did it this time around? They're the architects of the payroll threshold.
You are making a brilliant argument, sir. Let me try to sum it up. You are saying if the Labour Party does reasonably well in government,
right,
it's almost a guarantee that their prospect for a 4th term is high. And the PNP, on the other hand, cannot continue to practice the type of politics that they have practiced over the last 5 years, like walking out of Parliament, tearing down the Prime, those things. Not going to cut it.
No, that not going to cut it. That not going to cut it.
But what are the alternative prescriptions that they could come with that would be so attractive that the people of Jamaica would say, okay, let's change.
It's
How
a
much-
uphill. It's now 2025, neighbor. It's an uphill battle. You can't mix up too much of the old time politics in a 2025, 2030, because elections now in this era, you have to think about social media, and you have to think about popularity. And now, when you have the old time politicians that are still there, there's a trust factor that is still at a low, because some persons' names are still tarnished with a Finzak, and they're still here in 2025.
Yes.
You understand?
The scars of the 90s lingers in the minds of the people.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
So-
It's true, you know, because people like Falwell and Golden himself, even in the last leadership debate, we heard it coming up time after time about the financial sector debacle. It's a duffy on the PNP.
But watch on, neighbor. Just looking at, say, even a Peter Bunting, I don't know his full character. I don't know him personally. But just looking at the man and the stain that happened to him in the past, and, you know, where he said he needs divine intervention for, you know, for failed fight crime, and
Yeah.
he has a little thing to
Did
do
you
with
hear
Finzak. And just,
Christopher Tufton telling him that he's the only Minister of National Security that was not able to protect himself? You heard that?
yeah, man, I heard that. I heard that. But what I'm saying, neighbor, is the psychological impact. Just by those things, those baggage on him, and just by looking at his face. Just looking at a Peter
His
Bunting's
face?
face.
What happened to his face?
Come on, neighbor. We're talking psychological. There's a trust factor. Of course, you can look at someone and you just don't trust that person.
What?
Based on what was staying there, neighbor, me I tell you, 2025, social media and image and how your popularity and all of these things work. It's not the old time politics. It's not the old time politics.
Yes.
It's not. The old time politics will gravitate only to your tribalistic people. You have them already. You can switch leader 3, 4, 5 times. Yes, them still a go vote. Because if you cut them a orange blood, if you cut the next side a green blood, it doesn't matter. You will have those voters. I think you have to capture people like myself and you, neighbor.
Me? Not me, sir.
Of course, neighbor, man. You're in between, man, neighbor. You're in between.
Not me, sir.
So you're a labor, right?
If what?
You're a labor, right there.
No, sir. No, sir.
You're a comrade.
Neither. Oh my goodness, not at all.
Then that's what I'm saying, neighbor.
Ah.
I am not a laborite and I am not a comrade, but because I voted.
Why don't we come together and start a party?
Oh yes, neighbor. we can do it, but we don't have a tribalistic crowd. So in Jamaican politics, we have
Now
to have a
we win.
tribalistic crowd. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
We're not going to
We
win.
can talk all sorts of common sense things and all sorts of something. We
You
don't have
better
a
align. You better align to one. So you choose the lesser of the two evils.
Well, you have to analyze, neighbor, and I will not sit down and make it look as if
You are
this party is perfect.
No.
But after deep analysis and looking at both of them, neighbor, it was very obvious. It wasn't a deep thought process to choose one of them. I wasn't thought to like,
you voted for the Labour Party.
neighbor, the amount of people I bring go vote. I brought 19 persons to go vote like me. I work for the Labour Party just because somebody tell me to go.
Pardon.
Neighbor, somebody tell me SYM and a comrade platform and I'm a well-behaved person. I'm say, you know what? I go and do some work. I go and do some work for the Labour Party, you see, man. I go and ensure so.
What you saying to me?
Yes, neighbor, my crowd, a fellow young adults, man. Me say we have some discussion and we draw them out and while we go vote, man. And everybody have to take picture of them fingers send to me on that day, neighbor.
My goodness.
Yes, man.
Well,
Just
well,
because I'm a doer, never, I'm a doer. I'm not gonna be on a platform talking different. While people are there that talk, me run go and go help do some work. So like me, I get
what I agree with you about is that the Labour Party, in my view, provided the better option in the last election.
But neighbor, that wasn't something difficult to analyze, neighbor.
Yes.
It was not a difficult analysis. I wasn't confused, like scratching my head, like deciding on which one.
Yes.
But you cannot convince a tribalistic person. They will dig up also. You know what? Something dig up from the past, neighbor. As if manly spirit is in Mark Golding, like he's the same person. I wonder if they realize
at one point I thought that Mr. Mandy would have appeared. Because when I heard the PNP with the blood and fire thing, brother, I think that they might dig up every old dead labor, every old dead comrade. I spoke to Marissa, the Honorable Philibert, sister, and she told me that the PNP brought out every comrade this election. That's what I said. Every old woman, every comrade in Jamaica, in no matter all in the hospital meals. They took out patients out of the hospital and bring them back. If they were in the hospital and the doctor just operate on them and then take them to vote.
Neighbor, here's a perfect example as to know that they came with the full A game.
Oh yes.
Look at Anne-Marie Varsit.
Oh yes.
That is a perfect example.
There was a man that he just got hernia. Just got hernia, pain rocking him all out of his body, and they took him out of his bed, carry him go vote.
Yeah, man. This election, but this election is one of the full force of the election, you know, of the electorate, you know. It's one of the best pull. It was one of the best pull. So it's not a comforting thing for the People's National Party, I can say. It's just simple analysis. If this was the best and you've been campaigning for several years and this was the best at 28-35, you want, oh yes, we did well, so 2030 we probably can this that. You have to, if Andrews admit Mr. Prime Minister's wholeness does not do if him do a good job during this next few years, I do not see you might lose 2 more seats, sir.
You're saying that this performance of the team is the best that they can do
in these times, you know, in this modern time. That was the best pull that they pulled, because the social, you know, the bloggers online and they all over, and you know, one by one they go into the whole, they did the best that they could do, and they pulled all of them people out.
And they only managed 28.
And there are some close seats as well, sir.
They barely won.
Right, you have to factor those close seats, because Anne-Marie's section is a PNP section, I was advised, and if those PNP sections are so you barely win them by 100 votes, it's very worrisome.
No. Solid point, Ocean. Not Ocean, Alex J.A. Boy, you did well today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man, sir. All right, take it easy.
All right.
Hey, Nabi, what going?
Hey, Alex.
Okay, all right, guys. Remember to support the program. We have another 15 minutes to go before 12 o'clock. Thank you so much for staying with us. It's 9 o'clock. Yep. Remember to support the program. All right. Fantastic from Alex just now. I think we have some of the best callers in Jamaica. Better than radio, better than television. We here on Politics Plus have some of the best callers. The reasoning is of very high quality. I don't think you get this anywhere else. This is the best program anywhere in Jamaica. Listen to the type of analytical discourse that comes on here every day. My goodness, wow, heavy. Alex is saying that for the PNP to win, the Labour Party has to underperform. And that the PNP can't go forward with this type of walking out of Parliament, cussing out the Labour Party. Those days are over. This is the best program in Jamaica. My God, better than every other talk show that is happening now in Jamaica. They can't have them type of discussions here. I bet you. They can't test us. Scratch off with Scratchy. Power play with Power Man. Neighbor's notes with your neighbor. Intersperse that with the music. Very best. Saying good afternoon to Specialists. How are you doing? Good afternoon, Specialists. You're very special. You're very special. Good afternoon to you. See you soon, all right? Specialists, are you listening? Good afternoon. I am showing off a little bit. I'm telling you that we have the best listeners. And quite frankly, we don't want to be on the radio, you know. We want to stay right where we are and build our thing from scratch, all right? But we can't do it without your support. So you have to text 876-858-9553, all right? Text that number, 876-858-9553. And when they answer, you tell them, we want to support Politics Plus Hello Neighbor Daytime. I want to give them $10 or $20 or $30 or whatever the case may be. Yeah, man, do that. 876-858-9553. Tell them that you want to sponsor the program, all right? You want to keep the program online, on the air, everywhere, all right? We have Navi online. Navi is another one of the, hi, Navi.
Hi,
Navi.
Nima. Hi, Nima.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us today. Navi,
Yes,
you would qualify for G2K. You yourself is a intellectual, a Harvard student. Navi, what do you make of the Patriots' condescending statement on the Jamaica Labour Party leadership?
Neighbor, it was so unprofessional, neighbor. When I saw it, I was shocked. I was like, I made a comment on the Jamaica Gleaner and I said, is this high school? Because it was on the line of teenagers in high school, neighbor. Like, I was genuinely shocked. I was like, this really came out of a professional arm of a party. These are professionals, people. These are doctors, lawyers, teachers. These are the people that are patriots. That's the professional affiliate arm of the PNP. And that's the best you could respond. That's how you respond. Like, but this just shows you say them people are them not serious at all. Like, these are not serious people.
Yes, and Navi, you know the context of this, that it is coming out of the Prime Minister's desire to build consensus and start a dialogue. And then you're going to throw this monkey wrench in the wheel, Navi, stating that the Labour Party is intellectually unneeded. That to me, Navi, puts someone on the defense. And would you take kindly to someone calling you an intellectual anemic person?
No, neighbor. And you see, neighbor, the thing about this, neighbor, what is the PMP's thing to trying to make Mark Golding the smartest person in the room? Like, what is it about they're trying to say, oh, he's smarter than everybody else? Sometimes you don't have to be the smartest person in the room, in the neighbor, because oftentimes the smartest person in the room is not the person who is at the helm of leadership, and that's just the truth. So you saying because he's your leader, he's the smartest person. He does not have to be the smartest person. A leader would know how to pick the smartest person. That's a true leader. They would know that their delegation is probably smarter than them, but that's a good leader. You have to know how to pick the right persons. And if Mark Golding is such a good leader, neighbor, and everybody around him at this point is questionable, that just blows back on him. Are you a good leader? Do you have the good discretion?
Yeah. No. The Patriots are suggesting that Golding is an intellect. Why are they pointing to Golding intellect in a press release? That he's
I don't know.
that he's intellectually composed, and that the Labour
But
Party
everybody on the Labour Party is an intellect. The person you are talking about has a PhD. So what is the difference between him and your leader? Because if that's where you're going, if you're going academically, if you're going academia for academia, the person has a PhD. So what is your point?
You mean you're talking about the academic acumen of the Jamaica Labour Party's leadership?
Yes, neighbor. So if we want to talk about academia, we can say that the Prime Minister has a PhD. So
And Delroy Chuck is a Rhodes Scholar.
exactly, neighbor. So what is why every time
So
we're having a
is Dana
serious
Morris Dixon.
exactly, neighbor.
Aha.
So
What about Christoph Dunn?
exactly, neighbor. I don't know what is the obsession with saying Mark Golding is an intellect. Like everybody on the Jamaica Labour Party side, we can point to
Aha.
has a
Let me ask
PhD.
you this though. Intellectualism, that aside, does this not suggest that there is some elitist thinking coming out of the PNP? Why they are pointing to intellect? What on God's earth does this have to do with intellect? Why
But
is that
neighbor, this has
uh-huh.
always been the DNA of the party. So this is just embedded in the PNP because they were the party that started off with the brightest people in society, as they would like to say, the doctors and the teachers and the lawyers. They have always been a party of elitist mentality, saying your academia is what makes you elite.
Yeah, but I pointed out to the listeners this morning this physiosophical concept of performative contradiction. This is where your words and actions contradict the very principles that you are claiming to trying to assert. And in the case of the PNP, they are accusing the JLP of intellectual insecurity. But at the same time, they are simultaneously demonstrating their own intellectual insecurity by the attacks that they are putting out there. Is the PNP not running away from this meeting and trying to kind of deflect into arguments? Because I can't see why this combative approach is going to advance the process, Navi.
But neighbor, look at this, right, neighbor? If you're the opposition spokesperson on constitutional reform, right? Why are you saying, oh, I don't want to meet with Delroy Chuck, I want to meet with you? Remember, neighbor, we are actually in the legal framework of the constitutional reform process. Angie Holness is not a lawyer. Angie Holness is not a lawyer. Mr. Delroy Chuck is a lawyer. He's an expert in the field. And you, Mark Golding, you're a lawyer that makes you an expert in this field. Why don't you want to meet with your peer? Because Mr. Chuck, when it comes on to legal matters, is your peer. Angie Holness is not a lawyer. Why do you want it? We are not in the phase where, neighbor, we are trying to give and take, right, neighbor? We are in the groundwork, the legal phase of this, the legal framework part of this constitutional reform process. Why are you disrespecting the sitting minister, saying, oh, you want to meet with the prime minister? What is meeting with the prime minister going to get you off the ground? It's not going to get the legal framework off the ground. So why do you want to meet with the prime minister? That makes no sense. We are in the legal framework part of this reform. How are you going to meet with the prime minister? It's not like they sat down and they did some work, neighbor, and he's like, okay, it's time to meet with the prime minister before this goes any further. So when we reach it further down the line, neighbor, we won't have any hiccups, we won't have any big disagreements, because here, this is what we got the plane off the ground, and we are currently about to soar, and we want to know your think about it. That is not where we are at.
Yes.
So why?
Well,
so why would you want?
I see Mr. Blair asking what can be achieved by Mr. Bolin meeting with Mr. Chuck. Let me see. Take a minute and answer that. Mr. Blair, Mr. Blair, Mr. Chuck is the designate of wholeness. All right. To meet with Mr. Chuck is a precursor to meeting the Prime Minister. Do you understand that, sir? The fact of the matter is that if the Prime Minister designates an individual to meet with you, it implies that the Prime Minister intends at some later stage to meet with you. And therefore, what you could do is to use this meeting to clear the path, so that when you get to the meeting with the Prime Minister, all right, you would have already have an agenda set. Chuck would clear through some of the knotty issues. You could even use the meeting to set an agenda to meet with the Prime Minister. But why don't you come and talk to me about this, Mr. Blair? Why you sending this through text messages, man? I probably would love to talk to you about it, but I'm running out of time. So Navi.
Yes, neighbor.
Neighbor. Would you encourage the Jamaica Labour Party to respond to this, or you think that they should just leave it? How is the party to proceed?
Yeah, the party proceeding should be that the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs is the person you should meet with. If we remember, neighbor, now remember the stage that we are in. You don't need to meet with the Prime Minister. There's nothing you can meet with the Prime Minister about, because you have nothing on the table. So why do you want to meet the Prime Minister? You have nothing on the table. You are the opposition leader. You are not the minister. You are not the minister. You are an opposition, right, neighbor? And you have to use the government opposition to come together, right? So we have nothing on the table. So what is there to present? You know what it seems like, neighbor? He already has everything planned out, and he's saying he wants to present to the Prime Minister like he's showing it at him. Like, this is what I want. It sounds like a hostile situation, neighbor. It is like saying...
As we go, what should the party do? They initiate the meeting? Do they give Bolin what he's asking for? What should the party do?
No, neighbor, they should not respond to him. If there's a response coming out to Jamaica Labour Party saying meet with Delroy Choke, that is the only agenda. Meet with Delroy Choke. If you have anything to say about constitutional reform, meet with Delroy Choke. Because, neighbor, what are you paying Delroy Choke for? If you don't want to meet him about the constitutional reform process and he's the minister, then what are taxpayers' money going to him for?
Yeah, and is Mark Bolin not the the opposition spokesman on justice? Is that not so?
No, he's not. He's just the minister, opposition spokesperson on constitutional affairs.
That is Mark Bolin. Mark Bolin is the opposition spokesman.
Yeah, on constitutional affairs. Zilika Jess is the Minister of Justice, but she's out here making a fool of herself when this should be the matter that she should be on, but she's making a fool of herself in a different scenario, neighbor. So I guess she does not see what she needs This is what she needs to talk about in a neighbor. She should be advising her leader on going forward to get this meeting. She, Marissa Dalrymple and Mark Golden and Delroy Chuck should be in a meeting compiled with another set of legal minds. That is what she should be doing, you know. But she's running around like a headless chicken neighbor, making a fool of herself. You see, neighbor, them don't have them priorities straight, and it's very upsetting and very annoying. Because I don't know why she's running like a headless chicken when she has something important as a constitutional reform with her leader to sit down and analyze and bring something to the table.
Scratchy?
Yes, neighbor. Blessed Navi. Blessed day.
Good afternoon to you, Scratch.
Same to you, neighbor, and the viewers.
Well, Scratchy, we're out of time. You're gonna have to come back at 7 o'clock.
No problem, man. No problem. I'm just passing through, you know.
Yes. We started a little early today, but we're going to be back at 7, yeah?
No problem, neighbor.
And we're gonna be continuing this discussion around 7 o'clock. You'll be able to join us back, Navi?
Yes, neighbor. Class ends at 6 today.
All right. So catch you then later on. Take care.
Okay, neighbor.
All right.